Alright, and we're in.
For battle.
If my voice will work with me. Okay. Teams giving each other their good luck. Those teams have played one another quite a bunch of times, several seasons of ProDotA already. And Double Dimension and Gambit. They have developed a bit of a rivalry. And there used to be a time where Double Dimension was the sure bet here, which nowadays has changed, as you can see from the live odds here. Finally got the damn widget thingy to work. Pretty damn proud of myself that this thing, the odds counter, finally is up and running the way sponsors wanted to. I mean, shout out to Expert for being super lenient with that kind of stuff. They don't flame me if it isn't working for a couple of weeks because I made a really big mistake and didn't realize it.
To battle.
They're just chill about it, so, you know, I do appreciate them as a sponsor.
The battle begins.
So the game's gonna start. Death Prophet going to get hit with her own damage for quite a lot here. I'm guessing that's worth the rune. Double rune advantage on the mid lane is generally worth it. Wait, mid lane? It's gonna be, yeah. Since Doom can actually mid, I was kinda shocked there. Especially because Double Dimension that they have pulled some weird stuff in the past. It wouldn't surprise me that they just say, okay, Omni Knight support, Death Prophet off lane, Doom mid lane, let's do this. Which of course it would be super risky. It would be especially against the Shadow Fiend, but who knows? I've learned not to trust tier 2 teams when it comes to being predictable and going for logical stuff. I honestly think if you want to be good at tier 2 Dota, you gotta make logic your very, very, very last priority a lot of the time. And it does seem to work out, where people just pick what they're good with instead of what's good on paper. Instead of analyzing the entire strategy, they're just like, yeah, I want to play that hero this game. And those are the teams that tend to go to tier 1. Look at the nowadays known as Team Kinguin, the old Team Singularity. They were just like exotic deer in Nisha. They decided what they wanted to play, or maybe the shot caller / draft decided for them. But the exotic deer and Nisha heroes were completely irrelevant to the game sometimes, and they still worked out. So who knows. Still, Double Dimension playing it a bit more mainstream, a slight bit more conservative. With a Luna, they do have something great for killing off the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend, although he is going to get really big and going to turn into a bit of a raid boss, Luna is insanely good against him because it's a carry, safe lane carry with a reliable stun, who is able to turn around onto a Shadow Fiend.
Almighty money.
And it looks like Chattercat almost going down, but still keeping himself alive. Now instead turning around onto Mata. And Mata, he is going to go down. Always want to fly dice in exchange, so it could definitely be worse for either side. But Gambit do get themselves first blood. Gambit do get themselves a bit of favorable momentum swing. And talk about favorable momentum. Razor winning his top lane, just pretty much getting free farm against an Omni Knight. Shadow Demon having a pretty good mid lane here too. I mean, look at Undershock taking a ton of damage every time he comes into Shadow Fiend's attack range. So Double Dimension, they really gotta make sure Luna stays farming and Luna stays ahead in terms of net worth. If the Luna here does fall off, then it could be devastating. And I mean, you only need to get Luna through the laning stage. It's not like Luna is going to have to single-handedly get the entire game, because Death Prophet, once you get level 2 ultimate, you're actually going to be able to win fights on your own. You're actually going to be able to turn around even against Big Shadow Fiend, even with a good start and a ton of free souls and free farm and everything. The Exorcism Ghosts don't care. They only care about one thing, and that's armor. Shadow Fiend for an agility carry has very little armor, so does make for an easy kill. Doom and Iceberg man fighting here, and Iceberg, he is going to be the one dying to ProDotA. A very important kill, and that's going to allow Death Prophet to get way more space out of her lane. Play this lane way safer. On the bottom lane, I mean, the thing is with this bottom lane in general, Gambit, they do know that Rajix is a very good and a very juicy target, so they are constantly trying to find a good situation to go on the Luna. They are just not finding them, which of course is to be expected. Double Dimension playing this as careful as possible. However, if there is just the tiniest of mistakes made, it could all of a sudden escalate here. Not this time though. So back to everyone just farming, and Gambit, they could have gotten a ton of. Iceberg once again going to get ran at, and it looks like he's just dead here. Shadow Ray's not coming out to kill up Unshock. He's still going to go down to a tower hit there though, and that tier 1 tower hits really darn hard. Bignum with the battery assault going to get another kill out of that. And the question is, well, I'd honestly say that wasn't that bad of a move for Team Double Dimension here. Since this did create a lot of space for the Luna, effectively Shadow Fiend got thrown back net worth wise, got thrown back soul wise, and that means Rajix is going to be able to farm a bit longer before Shadow Fiend is going to be able to kill him and to just run him down over and over again. Of course Rajix, he is struggling to keep himself alive. He has to position himself very carefully and can't really afford to mess up. But if he doesn't, and now he does have the Morbid Mask, so might just stay in the jungle for a while, get his GPM that way. And the Hug now going to get ran at by LeBron. LeBron actually, I mean, he's not necessarily carrying the game, but if he keeps this up, then he is going to be carrying the game soon.
Rock it on.
Meanwhile, Rajix getting ran at. He is now cornered in. This could be a very big death. Oh dear. Double Dimension, the one hero they couldn't afford to lose. And I mean, Luna wasn't even worth a ton of gold or anything. This is not about net worth swinging around or anything like that. This is about just denying Luna that good item timing on that Mask of Madness, which allows her to snowball farm. You want to keep Luna from hitting that exponential farming speed as soon as she gets Mask of Madness in this case. There is a bunch of different builds with different farming items, but generally Luna does need some kind of farming item. LeBron now going to get caught as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
LeBron, he's been playing super aggressive so far for
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
pretty much this entire game, so he was bound to get punished for it eventually. Can't always just keep finding good ganks. However, this is currently not the time where it's okay to give away kills, regardless of whether they're calculated risks or just mistakes. I mean, technically every kill you give away is just a calculated risk. The question is just how good are you at math. Ron and Mata with a smoke gank, lingering around the mid lane, but not going to do anything here. And Gambit, I don't think they mind the game being quiet at the moment. Flow now going to get ran at. Clockwork didn't have hookshot online yet, so that kind of saved Omni Knight's life. Pretty important life to save as well. Double Dimensions, they're going to push in the mid-tier 1 tower now. Going to make sure that Gambit aren't going to get an advantage in the tower race again, and then... I mean, the last game, that was one of the major issues for Double Dimension. They didn't have a lot of towers to hide behind, a lot of farming space got denied. Iceberg might have made a mistake trying to fight there. He is going to go down. That's going to be a Shadow Feed illusion as well, in case that Double Dimension want to continue fighting there. But nobody ever because of the damn illusion. Always want to fly, still going to go down there. Now Razor coming in, looking for his revenge here. Going to get enough damage onto Undershock, but Flow is just a juicy target. And hookshot in onto Mata. Undershock is nearby, but Puck is going to come in, deliver some nuke damage. Double kill for the Razor now. Gambit in the end of all of that fight, when the dust settles. They're going to be at the exact same spot they were before the fight, which I guess, I mean, considering that it was Double Dimension who initiated it, Gambit played this really well, and Gambit did really well in their duty here. However, Double Dimension, I don't think they mind buying a bit of space for the Luna too much. I don't think they mind having fights where neither team gets a gold advantage or any kind of objective out of it, as long as Luna doesn't go down in said fight. Shadow Fiend getting doomed up and getting ran at. And the Doom might have been a bit of an overkill there, but it is important to try and deny Shadow Fiend as much space to farm and as many souls as possible. Due to that soul mechanic, every time he dies, he is going to take a little bit longer farming, and every minute matters here. Due to the fact how big Luna and Shadow Fiend can be in the late game, every single minute of farming time is going to matter. It's going to be a very clutch GPM race later on in the game. For the time being, it's Death Prophet and Razor who are kind of doing most of the work here, but that's going to change soon. Especially as Death Prophet is going to fall off a bit and going to be more oriented towards pushing buildings instead of killing people. Razor comes in, so does Puck. Puck, 3-man beam coil, yeah. Down goes Undershock. This run going to the next target, and Flow gets annihilated here as well. 3-0 for Gambit. And I mean, they did have to rotate the entire team over to make sure they get it that way. So Rajik is going to get some more space grade for him. Is going to get some more core items this way. Hurricane Fight going to be a very good item on the Luna, not only because you can go for a couple of fancy plays such as avoiding the Razor, but also because you can use the extra attack range. Especially in this game where Clockwork, I think you need extra attack range to attack him if he's sitting in the cogs. And for Razor it can be useful as well. You can stay out of his ultimate range. A bit of extra attack range. Definitely not to be underestimated this game. However, Rajik, he is not really farming super fast yet. He is still kinda getting his GPM going. But at least the same can be said about Iceberg here. This Shadow Fiend, he died a couple of times more than he would like.
Middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's just going to be one hell of a slow push. I mean, top lane isn't going much faster, so this tower trade is still in favor of Team Gambit here. Team Gambit now also 2k ahead, but at the moment everything is kind of slow, everything is kind of working out well for Rajix still. As long as Rajix doesn't really die anymore and keeps farming for a while, I think Double Dimension could definitely have this game off the back of this Luna.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So while Rajix is farming, Gambit aren't really able to set up anything good yet. They're waiting for somebody to go out of position or for some objective they want to claim. Shadow Fiend went with the early Blink Dagger, so he is going to play as a magical nuker, I'm guessing. Might be the hybrid build though. There is a hybrid build going around where you just take 3 damage talent instead, and then kinda itemize towards being a right clicker towards the late to ultra late game. Iceberg would really like to get a kill on Rajix.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That ultimate of his. And while he's trying to find that, on the mid lane, Ice breaking loose. Shadow Fiend. He got spotted, got doomed up. No ultimate for him. Puck comes in, trying to salvage this fight. Shadow Fiend is one of the main sources of damage for Team Gambit.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Puck died there as well.
Structures are fortified.
The Hawk pushed in the bot lane a bit. At least he's not going to go down for that. But Double Dimension, they're almost back to equal net worth. The gold net worth distribution is looking exactly the way they want it to. With a Luna sitting at the top, continuing to farm up and getting those core items online.
Gold is a great conductor.
And Luna, of course, does give that little bit of extra push, which is going to be essential here for Double Dimension. Since with a little bit of extra push, they can, if they go high ground, take 3 lanes of Rex in the time that some liners would have taken 1 or maybe 2. The bouncing play is really powerful with sieging base. And against a team like Gambit here, who... I mean, if you're in their base, they can't really defend anymore. They rely on keeping you down, keeping you away from the high ground. With the Dream Coil, with the damage steal from the Razor, all that kind of fancy stuff. So once Team Double Dimension actually make it up into the base of Team Gambit, it's going to be very easy with the Luna to breach some of those buildings. And I kinda wanna know what Iceberg's building, since his choices this game are going to be what makes or breaks the entire lineup. If he's going to go full spellcaster, no exceptions, and he fails to find the Luna often enough, fails to kill the Luna often enough, because if he's going to go spellcaster, then he's probably going to opt for an Eul's, then going to blink at the Luna, Eul's her up, and go for an ultimate. And if you do kill her a couple of times like that, then Gambit can definitely close out the game before Luna's really back online. However, if Shadow Fiend, let's say, goes for that build, finds everyone except for the Luna, then Team Gambit might just die a very slow and arthritic death.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top
Chester
tower
Cat, he's doing a bit of split pushing. He's got his Blink Dagger, so nearly completely safe. He'd still need a couple more levels to actually be able to split push without being punished for it ever. Run, going to get caught. Getting his damage drained. The Death Prophet ultimate is coming in though. And Gambit, they decide to back off. They decide to just run away. Just let the Death Prophet ultimate tick out. Playing around the big timer. Meanwhile, always on the fly now, sieging the top tier 2 tower. With the Liquid Fire, at least some degree of push. Not really the best tower hit, of course, but what do you expect from support? Luna got the Hurricane Pike, so we'll be able to keep Clockwork off of her somewhat more effectively. LeBron now going to get caught. He still has the Doom available, but Puck playing around the Doom as efficiently as possible. Razor delivering some physical damage as well. Down goes LeBron, not able to get the ultimate off on a high value target. Omni Knight going to be the next target. Going to get ran down as well. Flo will get killed off by the Khachir.
Escape with you.
And now all of a sudden it's this tier 2 tower that has to...
Radiant's bottom tower
this is probably just a tower kill. Team double the mid without the Death Prophet ultimate can't really effectively mount any defensive plays, especially because Luna isn't online yet. Luna would like to get at least one more core item before rejoining the fight. At the very least BKB. Double damage, they still try to defend, ended up losing LeBron, and now Gambit, they see their chance here. They're going to push the aggression, they're going to try and get as much of a lead as possible before Luna comes online. After all, they are under quite a load of pressure. This mid-tier 2 tower melting too. And Gambit, if they get more plays like this going, if they manage to do 1 or 2 more plays like this, then they can close out this game still. Double Dimension, they might be in a far better spot than last game. The draft might actually be working this time around, but I'm wondering if they can actually manage to defend long enough for Luna online. Luna now opting for the BKB. A bit of an early BKB, but you kind of have to. With Shadow Fiend going for the full nuker build. Every bit of magical damage you can shave off with the BKB charges is going to matter in those fights. And I mean, as a Luna, you're not too worried about having only 5 seconds of BKB. You got a ton of movement speed. You can go for a Skadi and then just run somebody down in 5 seconds and get back. It's not the worst hero to get your BKB worn out of because you don't really get kited that quite that much. Puck taking a lot of damage here, but it's going to be fine with Blink Dagger online. Or not. Trying that again.
Let the world end now. It matters not to me.
I don't get why Cheshire Cat didn't just use his... Did they change how Blink Dagger and Puck works? Did I miss that? Since you used to be able to blink while you're inside of the phase shift, without even leaving the phase shift until the Blink Dagger has worked, until you are already repositioned. So kind of weird that Puck goes down there. Still a very nice and much needed kill for Double Dimension. We're now able to push towers. With the Lunar Blessing, it's going to be a lot of tower damage dealt as well. However, Bignum, he is going to try and defend that one. With a Razor and always on a fly on the Jakiro backing him off. Does seem to be working. But Gambit not finding any return kills. Luna giving him even more space to farm. Omni Knight also a very good late gamer. Also a very significant hero once he comes online. He already got a mech, so able to save the team fights at least a little bit better. Once he gets himself Guardian Greaves though, Omni Knight is just going to be huge. Guardian Greaves on Omni are extremely important, especially in a game like this. Because you do need the ability to purge off Puck's silence. If you get silenced up by the Puck and don't get an ultimate going that way,
top tower is under attack.
It's going to be a pretty one-sided team fight. Omni Knight, he really relies on being able to cast a lot. So even if Puck just spams silence on Omni Knight, which means he's still going to be allowed to cast quite a bunch of spells and is going to be able to repel himself at some point to prevent more silences from following up. The fact that you can just delay the Omni Knight ultimate and then focus fire one target is already more than good enough. And it looks like Flow is going to get killed here. Doing his best to get out with his fourth step, but in comes the Shadow Fiend, finishing the job. Runs, getting chased, and they catch him, it looks like they can. And down goes Doom. Team Double Dimension not bringing in any supports or any rotation for that matter. I mean, it probably wouldn't have worked either way, but Gambit, they can't just be allowed to do whatever the hell they want. They can't just be afforded. They can't just be afforded to go for this type of aggressive phase every time. Jake's got the BKB up, is now opting for a Butterfly here. Butterfly, a very nice item in this game because effectively it forces Gambit to go out of their way. It forces Gambit to stop only playing according to their own game plan and means Gambit have to take into consideration the Luna's evasion and the Luna's lots of armor. And it does look like Iceberg is going to go for more of a hybrid build here. With a Lincoln Sphere. Taking the movement speed instead of the aura is kind of interesting because that does mean that Team Gambit are setting up for a slightly longer game. Jake's going to get his damage stolen here by the Razor and going to get killed up as well. That is a very huge and very important kill. Omni Knight coming in just a tiny bit too late, and now the Omni Knight ultimate is down. Flow, getting right click down. Shadow Fiend with his ultimate not really doing all that much. But Iceberg, I don't think he's too worried about how good his ultimates currently are. As long as he just generally dishes out some good damage during the team fights, Gambit should be more than able to win every single fight they take here. Undershock now going to be the next target. This Death Drop 2 getting ran down. Did at least create some space for the others to go ahead and respawn, but this is going to be a tier 2 tower kill at the very least. Maybe even some solid chip damage on a tier 3 tower, maybe a buyback can be forced out here. Gambit, they're not 8k ahead. Double Dimension, they need to bring this Luna online. I think they were a bit too lenient when it comes to early fights and when it comes to do we defend this. So now suddenly Gambit once again in charge, and I do not want this final to end in a 2-0 stomp. Especially because Double Dimension, they have taken games off of Gambit before. It's not like this would be the first game ever for Double Dimension to win against Gambit. But right now it does look like Gambit are definitely in charge. Fiend almost going to get caught, but Iceberg with the Blink Dagger is going to be able to get away. Bron with so much like to still chase down and doom up the Shadow Fiend, but regardless of who comes in to defend, regardless of who comes in to help the Shadow Fiend, always going to be scary, even if it's just a hero. Puck pulling some shenanigans, now knows there's a ward there. Not quite dead. Yeah, his fate was sealed there. Deathrop's now going for an ultimate. There's not a lot of creeps around, so this Deathrop's ultimate dealing a ton of damage. Down goes the Razor. However, on the backline, this Luna got dropped too. Red Jix making for a pretty big high priority target. Omninet ultimate now being committed. But Death Prophet, suddenly there's a lot of targets. The Death Prophet ultimate is just going to get spread out. It's just going to get mitigated there. Now Flow going to get ran at. And Gambit, they are going to be able to push the last tier 2 tower. Once again expose all the tier 3 towers. Once again take away all of that farming space from Double Dimension.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And that's gonna be a tier 3 tower kill. Double Dimension, they don't want to buy anyone back here, but that means the tower is going to go down. Potentially even the rack. At the very least, Gambit isn't really building a lot of pushing items, he's really going for a lot of pushing strats. Since if Shadow Fiend, for example, had the aura, this could have been GG by now. I mean, if he had the aura, fights would probably went a bit differently, so maybe this situation wouldn't have been possible in the first place. Either way, Iceberg now getting himself an Ethereal Blade. That thing is dangerous in the hands of Shadow Fiend, especially because it also really benefits his hybrid build, where it does a bit of right clicking and a bit of spell casting both in the same fight. I just hope that Iceberg is going to take the 3 damage per soul talent, because I feel like it's kind of underrated nowadays. 40% cooldown is very nice, but if the opponent just has a pipe and a BKB and an Omni Knight, then you're not going to be able to really deal any magic damage at all to the Luna as long as Omni Knight is living in the backline of the fight. And Omni Knight is pretty good at staying alive in the backlines of the fight, so that might be ever so slightly problematic. Still, Double Dimension, they are still in this game, they are not completely out of it yet. They still got a chance to at least take one game in this series, as Luna almost got that, well, almost got the Butterfly series a bit too far, but is getting that Butterfly at a pretty decent rate, and Butterfly is really going to matter here for Rojix.
And it's off.
The demon's blessing. Almighty might.
Gambit seems to be going in aggressive once again.
Incoming.
Unstoppable.
Mata got himself caught by Bigman there, while that mid push is coming in. Now things are going to get really dangerous for Double Dimension. They need to somehow hold this, they need to somehow fend off this push efficiently. However, Tower is taking quite a good chance of damage already. Repel, saving Undershock from getting nuked down by the Shadow Fiend there, at least for now. But Shadow Fiend, he's really worried about his cooldown. His combo is up again. And eventually he is going to catch somebody with it. That's tier 3 tower. Gambit, they decide to go high ground here. Go ahead and deal a bit of damage to the Medirex too. On the back line, LeBron is set up. Is waiting for a good target to Doom. However, instead he is going to get caught by Bigman there. Now Bigman on the hunt for this Doom. LeBron able to get himself away, at least for now. In comes the Razor though, and that's going to be a kill. Insta buyback from the Doom because that ultimate is just quintessential here for pretty much any type of solid fight. The Medirex just getting slow siege as well. Gambit, if they do get fended off here and don't take the Rex beforehand because of the Rex regen, it would be kind of awkward. And it could lead to them losing a lot of their gold here. Currently Gambit is 20k ahead, that usually would make a comeback nearly impossible. However, the entire draft is just bent on overwhelming their opponents.
Players here.
All of a sudden though, Iceberg chasing on the shock. And he is going to go in with a big ultimate, dealing a ton of damage to everyone. A singular repel not going to be enough to stop that. He gets loomed up, so looks like Iceberg going to go down. That's a huge kill, a lot of money swinging around. Hero will go down too, however, the Hawk still going at it. Still continuing command fight. Luna goes down, down goes the Shadow Demon as well, and the run will be the next kill. Razor beyond godlike.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And suddenly 21k
Dire's
gold
bottom
lead.
tower has fallen.
Even without the Shadow Fiend, Gambit's still going to be able to act like they own the place here, at least until buyback comes out, which probably... I mean, Rajix, he cannot afford to buyback. He needs himself a damn butterfly. I'm pretty sure if he would have gotten it before Gambit... I mean, if Rajix would have gotten butterfly before Gambit could go high ground, this game would have looked very differently. However... Luna is kind of poor.
Radiant's middle barracks have fallen.
Not quite where you'd want to be at compared to how it looked a couple of minutes ago. Puck just pulling some shenanigans as the second layer of Rex just got dropped.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And Razor, he is building the Maelstrom build. I have not seen people build it in a long time. The Hug either going for the very old school playstyle, or maybe he came up with that on his own and was just like, yeah, Maelstrom seems good here. I mean, there are some players who are recently just doing everything that people did in Dota All-Stars, and a lot of that stuff is working too. Like the tiny butterfly, which used to be a meme in Dota All-Stars. Then suddenly people realized, oh crap, butterfly evasion is really good. Maybe we should start building evasion on every tank in late game. And in the end it resulted in stuff like Centaur Warrunner building a freaking butterfly. And trust me, it's hilarious to see a Centaur Warrunner with butterfly tier attack speed hitting a tower or whatever. Or hitting a hero. Looks really damn derpy. And I want to talk about this game, but there's not really a lot to talk about. This is going to be one really important high ground defense. Wait, Luna, is that the full butterfly coming in? Looks like it is. So Rajix, he does finally have a survivability item. Maybe a bit too late. Dota. Getting caught out there, but he has an entire team behind him. So suddenly Gambit, who thought that was free kill, realized that instead the hero is going to die. And now Team Gambit going for a road here. Do they have some armor reduction? Because with only this right click damage, it's not going to be a very good road. Shadow Fiend is coming in to deliver some decent damage. I mean, this guy is still nearly right click for 300. Despite him being somewhat of a spellcaster, if thing.
Rashawn has fallen to the Dire.
Luna going to get caught. Rajix is able to survive there. Talking his BKB. Gambit, they're not going to try and push it. They're not going to try and take any unnecessary risks here. Luna meanwhile opting for Ioskadi. A really big item, especially against the magical damage Shadow Fiend version. Since then suddenly you can go out of the range of the Shadow Fiend burst combo. But if you survive that burst combo with an Omni Knight to back you up, you can get healed. You can get repelled up and you can turn things around. But Shadow Fiend, he is still scary, and the last lane of Rex is getting pushed in here. That's gonna be a tier 3 tower. 27k lead now for Team Gambit. Team Gambit, they're not afraid. They're not afraid to just disengage. They're not worried about the thing. I mean, maybe one or two of their heroes will get caught, but now they're actually reinitiating the fight here. Trying to turn it around. Doom gets nuked down immediately. Shadow Fiend getting a pretty decent ultimate going. Rajik still delivering the damage with the aura especially. Now an Omni Knight ultimate has come out. Shadow Fiend cheesing himself up, going to try and survive here. That's going to be a death on the Razor. Iceberg still running for his life, doesn't think Daggerthos should be able to get himself out of there. The Hug meanwhile, is he going to be able to live? Doesn't look like it as he is surrounded. That is one dead Razor. However, Cheshire Cat would love to finish the racks here. Not going to be able to, instead going to get caught out. Just going to have to back off, but Death Prophet is on the chase. And Cheshire Cat, he is getting cocky. I mean, he is making some really obvious mistakes just because he doesn't pay that much attention. He thinks he can get away with it. But now we might see one of those games where Double Dimension are going to get the Luna online in time. I mean, Luna almost got the Eye of Skadi finished. And if that still happens in time, then as long as Double Dimension are able to keep at least one single rack alive, they will be set up to win this game still. I mean, at some point the game can be ended by Gambit, by just backdooring that last lane of racks.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Almighty money.
So, Team Gambit, they just lost a lot of their gold advantage. And all of a sudden, I don't know, this quiet, this Team Gambit not pushing the aggression kind of feels awkward. Kind of feels like a kid being put in timeout. However, Razor got an assault curse. Razor now opting for the Tanic here. He is going to get tanky as hell to make sure that he isn't going to go down again. And I mean, after that Titanic, already going to be 6. Maybe he wants to replace one or two of his items here. Not really sure about it though, since all of these items are really good for a game like this. The ProDotA just going to get nuked there. Now Undershock getting isolated as well. And I think Gambit are quite pleased with their opponents suddenly running into their train. So, 2 barracks against the world. Luna, gotta keep buyback money ready, otherwise she'd already have an Eye of Skadi here. And I mean, that Skadi would be a huge item. I personally would have gone all out, just buy Skadi and hope for the best, because if you have to buy back, you probably already lost the game. Shadow Fiend coming in, ultimate alone, not quite that effective. Death Prophet with Shivas, getting quite a lot of work done. There is Sheepstick, however. Luna going to run down the Shadow Fiend, and it looks like Team Gambit, they're just not able to push efficiently here. Cheshire Cat?
Your actions are without...
Well, rip. So Team Gambit, it feels like they're getting desperate, running at the high ground, hoping to get a rack kill somehow, failing and repeating the same thing. If this happens often enough, then Double Dimension can definitely win this game.
For justice.
Rajix on the Luna, now going to get a Skadi finally.
Regeneration. Jackpot.
And now Iceberg got the issue that he can't actually nuke down the Luna. Took the cooldown talent as well, which I mean, it is really big. It is some really low cooldowns. However, is it really going to matter if the repelled Luna with a Skadi is your main target? Since with the Skadi you can't instant nuke Luna down even if she is repelled up. And then Omni Knight can heal her back up, repel her and allow her to turn around. Which is something you really can't afford. You really can't let happen. Razor is able to counter the Luna if he's able to just deal enough damage from her. So it does seem like that's the best approach here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mid lane also on fly. Going to go down as well, and with that Luna aura, they're going to push really hard.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's
Suddenly
structures
backdoor
are
protection
fortified.
wore off, and the tower immediately taking larger chunks of damage. And it looks like Gambit. They're not worried about their base here. They're worried about their opponent's base.
Dire's middle tower is
I mean,
under
with tier
attack.
2 tower standing, although this is going to help close out the network quite a bit in favor of double
Dire's
dimension.
middle tower is under
If Team Gambit, oh look at that. The tier 4s are being focused. Looks like we're going to see ourselves a good offensive base race. And Team Gambit, they do realize what's going on. They do come in to defend their base. They kind of have to here. Bignum going to go down at the start of the fight. Omni Knight ultimate coming out as well. Death Drop, however, did die back. 2 minutes without her. 2 minutes without the big Death Drop ultimate. Raze dealing an awful lot of damage. But Nick's still alive, still right clicking with the repel up. Can he do it? Nope. 2 buybacks coming out immediately. And if we look at the Radiant base, they went all out there for that push. Now all of a sudden, Team Gambit, they are feeling pretty invigorated after that, I can imagine. Double Dimension, we saw the Luna hit really hard. We saw the Luna actually able to carry a fight. I mean, if we look at this Luna and Lucian putting out damage, then we can see how super hero she is. Bignum taking shot just from Luna as well, but Omniac is going to go down. Rajix doing his best to output his DPS. And I mean, it is some DPS. There's no other way to put it. Mostly because you can't always guarantee good balances. But GG is going to be called here. And with the 1 game advantage, which the upbracket team gets, Gambit is just going to win this here. It's just going to win this grand final. Gambit now champion of the season of the ProDotA Cup. They definitely do deserve it.